Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.
Edwards. Edwards! They are advancing to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in 20 years.
Oh, it's on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, baby.
Welcome to Wolves After Dark. Timberwolves win against the Spurs 104-103 in a game that they didn't lead until the end, basically. What a fun game. So much to talk about. But as always, this episode of Wolves After Dark is brought to you by Fourth Generation Flooring. Oops, let me get those comments out of there. Fourth Generation Flooring brings you this episode. We're going to talk about them more later once we get to the tier list. But holy cow, get your likes. And if we get to 50 likes, as always, we will do a giveaway, a merch giveaway. And we are going to have some ticket giveaways coming up soon. Thank you to Fourth Generation Flooring. So W sponsor, W game, honestly. Holy cow, what an incredible game. Let's start talking about it. Let's get into some comments. What a crazy thing. Oofta early. Yes, it was Oofta. Also, this was, how long ago was this? Oh no, this isn't that. You changed your mind. This comment was like an hour ago, and this comment was like 10 minutes ago. This game is crazy bleep. Yes, it is. We had so many lead changes there at the end too. I mean, the flow chart and the differential here at Spurs. I mean, this game was a game of runs. There was a lot of things that happened here. It just like so many players stepped up. Huge shout out. I mean, we're going to get to the tier list, but huge shout out to Julius Randle. Was incredible tonight defensively against Wemby. Ant came through in the clutch with those clutch time buckets. Obviously, it wasn't like a great game for Ant, but like he came through when it mattered. Nas had some big minutes and big buckets. Rudy had rebounds, but man, it was like, and Dante had a ton of important stuff too. The thing is, I know I missed the last game yesterday, but I will say, I feel like yesterday and today, I'm not saying we didn't have our fair share of boneheaded moments, okay? And like some kind of bad moments. But I get this sense that we're playing a little bit more like professional recently. Like there's something about the way, like, or maybe calm. I don't know what the right word is, but like we've been down by a lot and we kind of are chipping away. And I don't feel that same dread that I feel. I mean, me as a fan, I guess I am feeling that dread, but I don't feel like the players are getting us down because it's like we always have a chance in these games. I mean, we were down by how much in this game? 20? Yeah, 19 in the third quarter. And of course, we know from the reverse, a 19-point lead is never safe. But still, it's just incredible. The poise that we've been playing with and just the ability to find things. Also, shout out Mike Anori. Mike Anori had to fill in for Finch, who's out sick. And it's like, I think, I don't know if I was just paying attention to it, but I feel like he had a little bit more mind games that he was trying to play. And I sort of appreciated it, but maybe I'm just noticing things because I'm looking for them. But, wow. Woo, says Bowtie Blizzy. 3 horrific quarters, but it was mostly shooting, so I'm going to ignore it. Fourth quarter, Randall was way too strong for Wemby to handle. He won us that game plus Ant Clutch Player of the Year. Easy. This is probably the better take. Yeah. I mean, I'm remembering the last 15 minutes. You guys, you got to remember, I don't remember anything past like 30 minutes ago. So the longer this stream goes, the worse my memory is about the game. But no, I still do think I understand early was really rough. I mean, we were down, what was it? 14-0 or 12-0 or something like that. Maybe 16-0. The fans were standing for the first 4.5 minutes of the game. That was terrible. But, and then they even had to call a timeout, came back, still weren't scoring. But no, I do think that there's just a different level of the care factor from the team as a whole, maybe not individual players, because I did think there was moments tonight where I was like seeing certain players. I mean, even like Ant at times where it's like, oh man, I'm just not feeling a lot of urgency given Ant's been questionable coming into like every game for the past 3 weeks. So, if he's especially on a night of a back-to-back, a road home back to back. I'm willing to kind of leave a little bit of slack there. Also, I mean, the clutch time performance basically makes up for any amount of anything. It's the same thing that I've said all season. I don't care how the first 3 quarters look, as long as you win the fourth quarter and win the game. Although I don't necessarily think the first 3 quarters were so ugly. There was just a lot of, we were like scared. It's the same. It was like the Rudy effect in reverse, because it was like, okay, well, we're scared to attack Wemby, and that lets their other defenders play a little bit more aggressive and bother us out on the perimeter. And our 3-point shooting was really bad early, and our free throws were really bad in the game. That was another big thing. What were the stats there? We ended up shooting 14 of 25. They were 22 of 25. So that's a huge difference. We shot 12 of 39 from 3. Basically the same as them. They shot 1 shot better than us. But man, we just out hustled them at the end, and we were playing with so much energy. Dante had that huge steal and then immediate 3, which was just bonkers. Oh my gosh. Gortat post up seal by Randall to screen for Ant's floater was clutch. Yeah, that was kind of a weird play. That was like, Ant had this moment. There was like a wide open lane for him to just like explode to the basket. And there were multiple times where I felt like Ant could have posterized people tonight, and he didn't. He chose to go for the layup, which is probably good, because honestly, his poster rate when he tries it, it's not a super high percentage shot. He misses a lot of those posters when he gets any amount of contact, and he always gets contact on those. So, but that would have been, that would have been crazy. My relationship with Rudy remains complicated. He's our Draymond. Yeah, now Rudy's, I mean, there's so many things that happen in this game. Rudy's now suspended for the next game, which, again, back to my memory, I don't really recall him getting into this much foul trouble, or this much flagrant foul trouble. I have to like go back and look at all these things, or else maybe the league changed the rules or something, but I just don't feel like there was that much. I just don't think it was like that crazy. But Bones Highland, Dylan Harper. I still love Dylan Harper, and I think he's going to be incredible, and is incredible. But Bones gave us, yeah, that's right. Bones gave us a ton of energy tonight too. He had that one stint. I think it was the third quarter, and maybe even into the fourth. And then they took him out, and I was like, oh, this is very Finchy. Why are we taking him out? But it worked. I'm so happy to say we beat OKC and the Spurs. See, this is the thing. And this is the I think this is going to be the frustrating thing about the Timberwolves. Given we don't really have that bad of a record, but I think us as fans, we like to complain about a lot about this team. But I do think that we are a team that plays up to our competition, and that means that in the playoffs, we play well. That's why we've made 2 Western Conference finals in a row, even though people probably don't view us as that, because we have a lot of weird mistakes in the regular season that are like, whoa, this is not a playoff team. But we can lock in and be a playoff team. And the fourth quarter was a good example of that tonight. Not necessarily the first 3 quarters, but again, I'm still saying, I still believe that there's still a glimmer of like professional basketball that's being played, even when, because like the first half, I don't have the stats in front of me here, but like the first half stats had to be pretty bad. Not only just from like a point wise, but it's just like a shooting wise. I feel like we were having opportunities and they just weren't going in. And the Spurs were also getting a lot of empty or open shots because we were doubling Wemby a lot of the time. And Wemby was finding the right people, and Keldon Johnson just drains threes against us. It's crazy. So, but yeah, my dad heard you say Julius Randle and just yelled Julius Randle. Indeed. Yeah, the boys from New York were big tonight. For real. Yeah, Nick, I think that's right. It is less panic. And I'm just seeing, like, we go down by 19, but it's like, okay, but then we go on this, like, 9-0 run. And it's like, immediately, any 10-point game any team, regardless how good or bad you are, can come back from 10 points. So 10 points it essentially feels like a tie, Nothing really starts mattering until you start to like crunch the time late in the game when it's like, okay, there's 5 minutes left. Now, if you're down by 19, it's like, okay, that's a problem. But like, if you're only down by 10, that's okay. And then if you go a little bit further, if it's like 2 minutes left, it's like, okay, 10 is tough, but it may be like 7, if you can get to 7, that's like close. Not that was the case tonight, because obviously we were, back and forth sharing. Like that was I don't even know what happened in those last couple of minutes. We just had so many baskets happening. Um, we never gave up and kept the lead small. Yep. Like the chat. Rudy out, but man, he got to get a Wancho for almost selling this game. I mean, that play is like, that is like the epitome of a Wancho play. You hurt the team. You took away from the team. That was crazy. I understand that was a reckless closeout, and I'm not trying to argue with the refs. Maybe more so with just like Alan Horton, like kind of like, I guess just like accepting that it was so bad. I felt like that wasn't like such an egregious one because Wemby's moving a little bit forward and Rudy's closing out, but it wasn't the same as some of these other closeouts where it's like they're really getting up into him. I don't know. Maybe I might just be a homer for Rudy right now, but regardless, I mean, these flagrants are hurting us, and now he's suspended, and that was like a potential 7-point play, and then Randall just bullies Wemby out of bounds. That was crazy. I'm not going to say it was all me, but we did make our comeback after I turned my house lights Timberwolves colors. Oh, there we go. I can do that right now. I should do that right now, shouldn't I? Why do I have red in the background? I forgot. I was watching Stranger Things a couple weeks ago, and I left it on that way. That's not what I need to be doing. We can have some Timberwolves lights behind me. That's 100% what we should be doing. But man, just crazy. We'll do this. There we go. Now we got some Timberwolves colors. Rudy, how can he be so good and so bad at the same time? Well, tonight is a little different. It's a little bit more emotionally charged. I think both Wemby and him get emotionally charged in these games because they both want to like be the number one Frenchman. Like they want to be like the guy from France. Given they both have respect for each other too, but it's like they're just trying to show each other up basically. So oof. Okay, let's catch up on chat. Remember, 50 likes on the stream. We're already halfway there, and we will do a giveaway. Yeah, it's like, okay, yes, I agree that this was, and I get it because like Wemby did get hurt, and I want to protect. It's similar. It's very similar to football, which of course is fitting because I'm wearing my Vikings hat. But it's like it's so similar to like late hits on the quarterback or like roughing the passer, or when they're like making a rush for it and then like they're going into slide and then they get hit a little bit, but they call like roughing or like, what is it? Unnecessary roughness. It's similar to that where it's like frustrating because it's like, oh man, there's all these rules about how you can and can't like tackle a player. And it's the same with this. It's like, okay, well, how are you supposed to defend a 3-point shooter that's like doing a step back on you? Because if they're doing a step back, you have to go back and then you have to go forward. So it's like baiting you into it. But you want to protect the offensive player because, you just don't want them to get hurt. So it's tough. 26-14, almost officially at the halfway mark of the season. All things considered, we've recovered pretty well from the beginning of the season. That is true. That's true. And I think that's the thing that a lot of us, myself included here, is like, I forget that the record is so good for us right now. And that like our win percentage, if we do that, like if we put our win percentage into last season at this exact point, we're like the 2 seed or the 1 seed. It's like, it's crazy. But we are the 4 seed pretty comfortably, not super comfortably. Before we were like pretty comfortable in the 6th seed above like not OKC, the Warriors, because the Warriors are 11.5 back of OKC and we're 7 back of OKC. So like we've got a 4-game lead, 4.5 game lead there. But we're only a game and a half now behind the 2 seed, which is the Spurs. So that is, and the Spurs are 27-12. That's pretty crazy. And they're a good basketball team. So are the Thunder. We beat the Thunder too, just like Butterfly said earlier. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. There's 20 feet of length between Rudy and Wemby. No one else in the league like those two. It's pretty wild. Anthony, I'm about to get in my bag, Edwards. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Holy, what did I just watch? That was crazy. That's a fun fourth quarter. Crowd went crazy. Dude, shout out Target Center for, I mean, just how they've been recently, but also that play after the flagrant that we're talking about where Rudy closed out recklessly. Um, they were so into it and so loud for that play where Randall pushed. I mean, by push, I don't mean literally pushed. I mean like defended Wemby out of bounds. That was like a huge turning point, weirdly, because that was like such a bad moment. We were within like we were pretty close. It was like 6 points. I think it was 97-91, and then that happened, and that was like we still ended up going down 101-91, but it was like, man, that was like a huge momentum swing, almost more. It was worth it in a way, but yeah, pretty wild. Well, I think we should get into the tier list. We're starting to talk about some individual players. What a fun game. Fun fourth quarter. I keep saying fun game, and honestly, I keep defaulting to that by accident, and I don't mean to do that. I am so sorry about that. But as you all know, the tier list is brought to you by Fourth Generation Flooring. Let me get their info up here. W sponsor, if you didn't know, we've got a new sponsor. They're going to be sponsoring some giveaways for us, both tickets and merch. One of those could be happening tonight if we get to 50 likes. But shout out to Fourth Generation Flooring. This episode of Wolves After Dark is brought to you by Fourth Generation Flooring, a local family-run business with 4 generations of experience in carpet and vinyl flooring, one skilled crew, careful furniture moving, and competitive pricing on quality stock products, plus huge access to a huge special showroom. Fourth Generation Flooring. Quality work done right brings you the tier list. Thank you, Fourth Gen Flooring. Shout out W Fourth Gen Flooring in the chat. Okay. What is this tier list? For those of you that don't know, A1, unforgettably good game. Wancho, unforgettably bad game. Gotta pull it up here. Meh is like fine, kind of like your average, nothing super crazy to remark. Honestly, we might need to make a different, we need another tier tonight for like clutch, but we're going to get there. Old is Mike, and it's going to stay there. Clark is good defense. Cash is good offense. HSD is a great game that you might forget. Honestly, there might be some cases for an A1 tonight, but I'm going to let you guys be some of the decision makers here. So let's get there. All right. First up, who are we going to do first? Let's do Mike. He's old, but let me get his stats. I got to get everybody's stats. Bear with me. Where is he? Mike, actually, there were moments tonight where he didn't look terrible. He was 12 minutes. He had 4 points, 2 assists, hit that 1-3, which felt good. And it's like, I just feel like Mike, I don't know. Maybe he has accepted this and it's just not translating to the floor yet, but I feel like he needs to just completely adjust his game now to just being somebody who can bring the ball up and can be a little feisty on defense and hit threes. Like, you're going to be open when you're out there. You need to hit threes. It's similar to like Joe Ingles. It's like you need to be able to hit threes, which, well, that was the intention of Joe Ingles coming in, but it's just not working the way I want it to. I want him to be able to be a capable, like spot shot, or not spot shot, but like spot up 3-point shooter, and maybe not spot up. I don't know. Catch and shoot 3-point shooter. I just want him to be able to, get the ball in the corner like he did tonight. Hit a 3 or 2 a game, maybe 3 if you're hot. And just bring the ball up. I feel like that's not impossible. Maybe we have to give up the defense. Maybe we have to give up something else. Maybe we have to give up a lot of minutes. We're doing all of those, I feel like. And I just want more, but he's just old. So that's really all I feel like about Mike. And it's like, there's moments where it's like, man, maybe Dillingham would be better out here, but I understand that Dillingham has some issues too. So Jalen Clark, get your grades in for Jalen. No, actually don't get your grades in. There's not enough to talk about. He had 2 points, 1 assist. I don't have any, unless I'm forgetting some major play. Did he have any major plays tonight? I don't really think so. Just had a floater. I haven't hated his game recently. It's just that he's not playing a ton recently. And his defense, he had one of those moments tonight where it gets kind of lost on a step back and it looks kind of bad for somebody that we use as like a defensive like example. But again, I understand he's a good defender. It's just certain matchups, similar to like Jade not being like the best matchup for like a De'Aaron Fox type. But yeah. Anyways, Jalen, you're gonna be a meh tonight. Maybe I'm missing something, but that's it. Bones Highland. Get your grades in for Bones Highland. He had 12 minutes, but he had 10 points. He was a plus 16 in those 12 minutes. He was only 3 of 8 and 2 of 7, but man, it's just a thing we've been saying over and over again. Those of you that are regular WAD squad in the chat, you know that we've talked about this a million times. I've talked about this a million times, but he just brings energy into the game, even when he's not making shots. It's honestly like a little bit more polished of like a Dillingham, except he's a little bit longer than Dillingham. But it's like, I don't know. I think Bones played really well tonight, even though the efficiency wasn't 100% there. Minutes only, he only had 9 for Clark. Bonesy is cash. Bones is a vibe. He is definitely a vibe. Bones, nice. Oh yeah, that's what we're missing. I knew something was missing on the screen. Nice at a minimum. I agree with nice at a minimum. Cash for play and hype keeping us alive. Bones willed some comeback. He really did. If Rob was contributing like Bones, we'd be happy. Exactly. We would 100% be. There might be some truth to this, Love Fadina. His IQ is way worse. He just has way more confidence. I don't know. Rob sometimes has confidence too, and it's kind of embarrassing. But I could maybe see this. I'm going to start viewing it this way now, and I don't know that I love that. But yeah, I think it's a nice. I was going to go a little bit higher, but I honestly think that Bones should probably just be a nice. His efficiency really wasn't there, but I do think that he had a good game tonight. And it's a big part of the win. We can't put Cash. Cash is like a good shooting night, and he shot like 3 of 7 or something like that. So it's like, I mean, it's fine. Or 3 of 8. It can't be Cash. It's nice. I blame Finch and the internet. Honestly, I blame the internet more than I'm starting to blame the internet more than I blame Finch for this. At first, I really was thinking that Finch was maybe ruining some of his confidence, and to a degree he is. But I don't know. A part of me thinks that Finch is trying to show us that he's not ready, and he didn't want to show us that he wasn't ready, and then we all complained, and then he showed us, and it was like, oh yeah, we don't want Rob. So yeah, feels like nice is too low. I know this is why we need a different tier list, but there's only so much that can fit on the screen. And I feel like if it gets any bigger than this, you guys can't read it. It's kind of awkward. I don't know. We need to create our own tier list, and it's just, I don't know how to do that. So, okay. Yeah. And also, did you guys see the picture of him with like $200 in his lap or something? But it's just like very weird. Like what I would imagine 16-year-olds do. But he's 21 now. So yeah, I still think Rob can develop. I agree, Alex, to a degree. I agree. I'm not saying that I think he's going to be an all-star someday. But I think the thing I worry about with Rob, and we're going to move on here because Rob didn't even play tonight, but the thing that I worry about with Rob is he going to match up with our timeline at all? Like, what is our timeline with Ant? You know, KG the other day was talking about, oh, I love the window the Timberwolves have and the ideas that they have for the next like 5 to 10 years. And it's like, I guess if it's 5 to 10 years, yeah, sure, maybe he can line up with that. But it's like, if we're looking to win now and over the next like we're always looking to win, but like if we're trying to sell out to win right now, Rob's not going to be a part of that. He's not going to be ready this year. And if he is, it's like some crazy, then it's all just been mental this whole time with him. But, and I don't even think he'd be next year. I don't know. It's tough. But anyways, Rob didn't even play. We're not going to talk about him anymore. Next up, who do we have next? I guess this is kind of weird, but Rudy's up next on my list because he only played 29 minutes. So get your grades in for Rudy. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say. I saw some interesting mixed comments there in the beginning. Rudy played 29 minutes, only had 2 points, had 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 block, 1 steal. He was a minus 14, but again, he was out there for some of the bad times, but maybe you think he was part of the bad times. I don't know. Also, some of his shot, I mean, actually, I don't know if they counted his shot attempts, but he was getting a bunch of terrible lobs from Dante early on, and maybe others. I don't remember, but it was just like it was a disgusting beginning of the game. He had 3 fouls, obviously the one flagrant foul, the technical foul, 2 running into the ref, which also that one, I don't know. I get that contacting the ref, but it's like that seemed super incidental from the one angle that I saw. Maybe there was more intent there. And like I know that these players have more control over their body than a lot of the times they like to portray. But I don't know. That was weird. It was a weird game for Rudy. Rudy is that's why I'm hoping you guys can do this. Old Wancho for 4. See, I don't know if he was like a full on old though, because I feel like we still had some good Rudy moments. And it definitely obviously it wasn't like last game or any of the other previous games where it was like, wow, this is a defensive player of the year. But I don't know. It's just weird. We love you, bud, but you got ejected. Yeah. Clark County Jail. I mean, was he Clark County Jail tonight, though? I don't know that he had that. I mean, like, he had some defensive moments. And, like, early on, he was contesting some shots against Wemby that I felt like were good contests. And he had a good contest late, too, but I don't know. Almost selling the game. It was sort of a selling the game moment. And then he came in later and he immediately goes forearms Wemby. That was kind of crazy, too. Rudy's so weird. So many bad lob attempts. Yeah, and that's not on him. It was just like, why are we trying to suddenly? I mean, we've been lobbing to him a little bit recently, but like this seemed like a high, like, hey, let's make a point to lob to Rudy over Wemby. Like, I don't know. Just very weird. I'd go with old if it was above JV, and we can do that. I think I saw somebody said that they didn't want Mike to be that low, and that actually makes sense. That's true. Might have been U-boat type Lizzie. I can't remember. My nose is so itchy right now. Talking too loud and it's vibrating the hairs in my nose. Remember too when he gave him another free throw? Yeah, that's what I just said. So dumb. It is so dumb. We are nowhere near our record without Rudy, but he was a meh. I think I'm kind of down. I think I'm down for meh. I don't know that I feel that it's strongly enough that it wasn't old. Cause like I don't think it was like so terrible. That one play obviously was like below Wancho. Like it's a boneheaded play. I still don't think it was like, you know, if we're talking about like degrees of a flagrant foul, which they have them, of course, but like if we were breaking them down into more degrees, I still feel like that's like a flagrant 0.5. Like I don't know. I get it. And I'm really not trying to argue that like that wasn't like that was a bad call. It's more of just like it's one of those tricky like I was saying with football, where it's like the player lands on the quarterback as they sack them, so then they call roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness. It's just like, I guess, yes, it is by the law, but just seems weird to me. But and he had 14 rebounds. Yeah, that's why I think it's meh. He was okay. He was fine. He was fine. He also missed a couple of rebounds, but still, was his ejection? Well, he didn't get ejected. He's suspended for the next game, which is gonna suck. Because now we go up against, I think it's Giannis and who's the other one that they have? Turner. Yeah. And he did exactly. I was just about to say this. Wemby did the same thing where he did the step back 3 from like behind like the arc for 5 feet, and it clanks off, and then the rebound was missed, and then they go right back to him, and he tries the same thing, and then Rudy tried to contest it even harder. It was just, I don't know, tricky. The free throw shooting again. Yeah, the free throws for the whole team too. Well, because what did Rudy even shoot that many? No, he only shot 2. He missed both. One of them almost an air ball, by the way. Yeah. Anyways, Rudy, he's a meh. We care about you. I think he deserves a little bit of a leniency for tonight, but that play was really, really bad. Borderline lost the game, but you could also argue that was the turning point in the game where we suddenly started caring. But I'm not going to give Rudy credit for that because that was obviously not his intention. Next up, let's do Naz Reid. Get your grades in for Naz Reid, and make sure if you haven't already, we've got 100 of you here. Like the stream. If we get to 50 likes, we're only 14 likes away. We're going to do a giveaway, some merch giveaway, which I, again, don't have right next to me. But we're going to do one of those, like, pick a shirt of your choosing kind of a thing. And by the way, I forgot to mention, if we get higher, if we get to like 75 likes, maybe we'll do a hoodie. We could maybe do a hoodie of your choice if we get to that, but we got to have levels to this. Okay. I forgot to say that at the beginning, and that's kind of the most important time to say that. Anyways, Naz Reid played 31 minutes, 17 points, 11 rebounds, even with Rudy having 14. 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block. He was 7 of 18, but he was one of those players that was hitting shots when it like in the first half, it was like a struggle. I should look at his quarter by quarter. Because in the first quarter, he played 5 minutes, had no points. He was 0 of 3. Second quarter, he played 7 minutes, had 2 points, was 1 of 4. So he was 1 of 7 in the first half with 12 minutes. Not great. Third quarter, though, he scored 11 points. He was 4 of 4, 3 of 3 from 3. And that was, again, that's one of those moments where it's like, this is kind of professional because, now that Naz is a little bit on, Dante's been on recently. It's like, okay, if we can have some of this bench scoring. I mean, again, Dante's not a bench player, but, he's kind of pseudo a bench player at times in the second half, like with certain rotations. So, like, if you can have those kind of extra players that aren't Anthony Edwards or Julius Randle be scoring for you at a decently high rate, you're going to win a lot of games, even that look a little sloppy at times. So, I don't know. That felt really good. And then the fourth quarter, he was 2 of 7 in the fourth quarter, but he was a plus 16. But I mean, everybody was plus in the fourth because we played so well in the fourth. I feel like it's probably it's similar to Bones. It's like the same tier as Bones. It's to a little bit more degree, I think. Well, it's pretty similar. I might put him just like a hair above Bones, but I think it's a nice. Because the shooting it's similar to Bones, where it's like, okay, that stretch where Bones was in there, that energy felt great. And honestly, these two might have been on the floor at the same time during that time that I'm talking about. And then Naz also was just making shots during that time. So felt good. I think it's still a nice. I don't know if I can go out of the cash because 7 of 18 is not, again, it's the same as Bones. It's a very similar situation, but slightly better because obviously Naz is a little bit more well-rounded. And Naz just has some of those. He's crab dribbling, posting up, and doing his like patented like spin move layup, which just works all the time. And that's a weapon. That's like a big weapon for us to use. And then of course he's got these threes where he's just pulling up and ripping the net. So it feels good. Naz feels really good recently. A lot of players feel really good right now. Even when we haven't been playing cohesively as a team, like I feel like everybody's been kind of on. I don't know. Feels good. So, but yeah, I think we can do nice for Naz. This might be a stupid question, but how do I like the stream when watching on my phone? So if you're watching on your phone, well, that's a great question. I can show you. There's a couple ways you can do it. I don't know if my phone's actually going to allow you. I went back to the beginning. So if you're watching like this, you need to pull down so you can see this and then like buttons right there. Subscribe buttons as well. That's what you got to do. Got to make sure you like it. Anyways, I'm highlighting all the X out of the chat and smash the thumbs up for sure. Wow, you guys all just did like crazy. And then yes, there's a chat window too. But hit the heart. Well, there's a heart button, and there's also like a thumbs up button. I don't know. There's all kinds of buttons. There's also a hype button. Crazy stuff. I like Turtle. And we're back. Let me get back here. Do you guys like my thumbnails recently? Or are they crazy? Or are they scary? Okay, Naz Reid, nice tonight. Probably a nice plus. Same with Bones. They both kind of deserve like momentum tier kind of a thing. But nice plus, cash minus. Not really cash minus, nice plus. All right, next up, some of the starters. The last 3 starters? Am I missing somebody? No, okay. I was like, where's Randall? There we go. Well, let's save Randall. Randall played pretty well. Let's do Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels, 36 minutes, 12 points, 5 rebounds, had 2 steals and 3 blocks, 5 of 9. He had that crazy clutch fadeaway where he was one-on-one with Wemby with like 40 seconds to go, and he just pulls up. I was very uncomfortable in that moment. But I'm becoming to learn to be comfortable with Jaden in those moments. because he hits those shots a lot of the time. He's kind of an uncomfortable bucket getter. Um, it's not the same where I see Ant and I'm like, whoa, like this is going in, or Nas, or like even Randall, Um, it's just a little uncomfy, but they go in, so it works. Um, Jaden was great. I thought Jaden was generally pretty good. I think some defensive. I mean, I know he had good defensive numbers. He had 3 blocks. Actually, no, he played tremendous defense. I was thinking about like the Fox. There was somebody that said in the Discord, and then I couldn't stop thinking about it even through the stream now, even with my bad memory, about how it's just a bad matchup for Jaden and to be on De'Aaron Fox. But it's like, I mean, who is good matchup to be on De'Aaron Fox? Like, do we even have one? I don't know. Like maybe Ant, but not really. He's just so fast. Also, Fox is he's just a clutch player. So I don't know. He was pretty good. Honestly, I could maybe go for Clark County Jail tonight. I think that probably makes some sense. Treacherous, nice-ish, the equalizer. Treacherous, Cash, nice. CC Jail. Yeah, those blocks, I know. Clark County defense, I kind of think it was Clark County defense, other than the specifics that I was just talking about. But that is true. Fox was trash, but that's the thing. He's just clutch. He just comes when it matters. But Clark theoretically could cover Fox. Yeah, maybe. Fighting through some screens, maybe. I don't know. I think I'm going to go with Clark County, which can be / treacherous tonight. Because really, that maybe, if I don't want to completely change the narrative, because I do like Jalen Clark and I do like his defense. But there's a part of me that wants to make this a treacherous tier, or I mean, really like a DPOY tier, Rudy tier. But I don't know. Rudy's got different characteristics. It's different. Butterfly does love her man. I like the treacherous name. Treacherous makes sense too. It does make sense for a lot of reasons. But we'll keep it at Clark County for tonight. And if this is Jalen Clark, if you're watching this on the plane to Milwaukee, you got to have a great defensive game in Milwaukee. Otherwise, we might just change this to treacherous. Anyways, also tell Anthony Edwards we said hello. And tell Jaden that Butterfly said hello. All right, Dante DiVincenzo. Get your grades in for Dante. Wow, we're past 50 likes. Can we get to 75 for the hoodie giveaway? You guys really are going crazy for the hoodie giveaway. 38 minutes. He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists, almost a triple-double. 3 steals, 1 block, a dunk. He was only 7 of 16, but he was 5 of 12 from 3. Kind of meh. 2 turnovers, meh. Efficiency. It was a great game, though. It was a great game. 3 fouls. That steal where he kind of juked out. Was it Dylan Harper? I think it was Dylan Harper. I don't think it was Champagnie. But where he juked him out and he stole the ball and then immediately shot the 3 also was like a very Jaden at the end of the game moment where it was like, whoa, okay. But that was a huge game changer for us, getting that. It's also, those plays are such killers mentally for the other team, which again happened to us a lot, where we make a mistake, where we turn the ball over or like have an 8-second violation or whatever. And then the other team just goes right down and takes like the quickest 3 of all time. And it just rips net. And it's like, oh, okay. We can't make a single mistake. And otherwise that happens. So puts the pressure on them for sure. Similar to, what did you say, Love Fadina? You said something earlier that I liked about the confidence of somebody. Oh, Bones just has confidence, but lower IQ maybe than Rob. This might be one of those situations where it's like, he's not, I don't know that he's necessarily like such an amazing shooter, but he's got like the confidence. And I think that's the thing that I like about him at times and hate about him at times. Because the confidence to shoot that 3 in such a crucial moment where it's like you just got a free possession. I mean, he was open. Why not? But man, that was a huge moment. But no, Dante's game is always kind of messy, and it's really love or hate. There's never like an in between game. I feel like it's either like, wow, it was incredible, or it was terrible, and but at the same time, it's like a messy good, or like a what's the opposite of messy? Clean bad or something. I don't know how to describe what I'm saying, but like he's just so scrappy out there. He has a ton of effort. I've never questioned his effort. I know we talked about that a couple episodes ago. He is by far one of the most like hustle players on our team. Sometimes to a fault, but I really do think he had a really solid game tonight. Again, it's similar to these other players where it's like, I don't know that I can really put him in cash. Oh, it was Castle. Thank you. Castle. Thank you. And the dunk. The dunk was crazy. I'm sorry. Butterfly. HSD for Dante. HSD. I mean, he had a ton of HSD moments for sure. DDV was nice. Yeah, definitely nice. I'm not going any lower than nice. I guess I'm just debating on how nice was it. Are we talking like a cash or HSD game, or are we talking like a nice or nice plus, similar to like Nas and Bones? I don't know. Most of our squad are streaky. Yeah, they're definitely streaky. And that's why you're like right now, it feels like we're in a good groove where a lot of players are playing pretty well. Like I feel like Julius is back to the old Julius. I feel like Dante's been playing really well lately. Nas has been playing really well lately. Honestly, Ant wasn't really Ant tonight until the fourth quarter or until clutch time. Jaden's been playing better recently because a couple weeks ago he wasn't. So it's like we kind of have, and Rudy, of course, is playing phenomenally other than parts of tonight. We've kind of got a lot of things clicking for us right now, and I feel like we need to take advantage of that because that can disappear, and especially after like an all-star break where you have a break, really need to take advantage of it. So tierflation on the epic comeback. I'm kind of comfortable with tierflation, but how much do we tierflate? Big time, humongous win. I agree, James. Totally. Those couple of ill-advised lobs at the start of the game, that was rough. Thank you for reminding me of that. Because I do feel like outside of that, which was the messy part that I was talking about, he was, other than that, he was pretty good. Tierflation to where, though? Ginger Jesus. Where do we put him? Because it wasn't Clark. Do we put him in cash? It's kind of weird because, again, it wasn't really. I mean, like he had massive shots, but like 7 of 16, he only shot 43%. Is there like are we as a collective, are we making it so that there has to be like a percentage shot? Like, do you have to shoot over 50% to be cash or something? Or maybe it's just 40? I don't know. Quack, quack, quack. HSD or cash? I don't know. Then Jaden has to go up too. But see, that's what I don't want to do. He has a lot of rebounds too. Cash is a feeling. I don't disagree with that. We're going cash. I'm going cash. I like that, Charlie Barley. That's good. All of this is a feeling. That way, I'm never wrong. You guys can never disagree because all of this is a feeling. Okay, that's enough on Dante. Dante had a great game, though. Seriously. Regardless of whether we view it as nice, cash, HSD, A1, whatever. It was a great game. Next, let's do Anthony Edwards. Get your grades in for Anthony Edwards. He had 23 points. He was 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He was 10 of 21. Still pretty good efficiency. I mean, like for a game that didn't really feel that good efficiency-wise, at least to me, in the early stages especially. 1 of 5 from 3. He was 2 of 5 from the line. Not good. 2 fouls, no turnovers, though. His points came... a lot of them came in the fourth quarter. He had 9 points in the fourth quarter. He was 4 of 5. At least 3 of those buckets, I think, were in clutch time. He was a massive part to why we win this game. He had that MJ turnaround, which was sick. Obviously, the 3-2 to bring us within like 2 or something like that. First quarter wasn't great, only 4 points. Second quarter, 8 points. Third quarter, 2 points. Fourth quarter, 9 points. I mean, this is where we need like a clutch. We need like a clutch tier because this was incredible. Thank you, James. Quack quack, Mr. Ducksworth. What do you do? He was 3 of 12 from mid range. Holy cow! I guess I could do that math. Was he 3 of 12 though? Because he was 1 of 5. No, I can't. Well, I guess mid range. I don't know what he was doing at the rim. I don't have that detailed of stats in front of me, but he was so clutch. He had the Gervin high bank shot to win. Yeah, I really do wish that he would have just yammed that, but I get that that's not necessarily his best. So this is true though, Dayon. Like, regardless of whether this was up to our standards the clutch part was up to our standard. Again, I'm not trying. I feel like too often I come across as not appreciating Anthony Edwards. Guys, I appreciate Anthony Edwards. He was a certified star. He is something I have never witnessed as a fan in basketball. I feel like, obviously I did not view Towns as this player. You guys know this. And I was a little too young to really appreciate KG. So like for me, this is like one of the first times we've ever had like a player on our team that can be like, it feels like they can really take you to the next, he's literally taken us to the playoffs many years around in a row and Western Conference Finals. And it feels very possible that it feels like within his tenure as a Wolf, we're going to the finals. I don't know if we're winning the finals, but it feels like that's going to happen. So I just wanted to be on the record. I am not an Ant hater. I think too early in our Wolves After Dark days, we were a little criticized for being too much of Ant homers. Which has maybe rubbed off on me a little bit, and I'm trying not to allow that to happen, but it's tricky. So, clutch lives in cash because W. Wemby DPOY. And is cash at a minimum? Whoa. Cash. Nice with a clutch notation. James, I love these comments. Has to be cash. Bro, oh, look at Ant's burner account. Somebody get it. I don't know. I don't have Instagram pulled up here in a safe place. I'm getting some crazy reels on my timeline lately. Let's see. Anthony. I always type anything Edwards. Anthony Edwards burner. If I can find it quickly, I will. But I don't know that I can. It looks like no. Might have found it. No. Never mind. I don't know. I can't find it. I'm not going to waste your time. We can go cash. I think cash is a good way to, even though obviously, he was he was fine. 10 of 21 isn't that bad. Same with Dante. It's not like it's that bad. It's just, cash is usually meant for players that were 6 of 6 or something. I almost said 6 of 7. We'll go cash. I know you aren't a hater, but you got so many games where he's 30 plus, and it's what? I will make the argument though that I'm trying to make this. I'm trying too hard, and this is I don't need to do this, but I really do want the tier list, especially A1, to be this almost never attained thing. I want this to be seriously we tell our future families and future generations of our family about that game. I am going to remember the Anthony Edwards game in Utah 2 years ago or whatever, when he dunked on John Collins and had an incredible game. I am going to remember that. I'm also going to remember in that same month when he had just a Herculean effort against the Pacers and took us back and then blocked that shot at the end of the game. I'm going to remember those plays and those games as a whole. Same with multiple playoff games. Even games where he wasn't even playing that good. But I am trying to be very particular about this. I don't want A1 to be given out often, and same with even HSD to a degree. I'm trying to make this, but for some fun. We can't have it always just be everybody was meh. But I hope you understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be like only hard on him, but I am trying to base it off of my expectations for individual players. So tier flate and let it go. I know, Nick, you've always wanted me to tier flate, but anyways, it's a good cash because of the clutch tonight. Last but definitely not least, Julius Randle. Get your grades in for Julius Randle. Stat line's not necessarily amazing, but I feel like the eye test was today. He had 35 points, or he did not have 35 points. He had 35 minutes. He had 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. He was only 4 of 11, 0 of 3. He was 0 of 3 from 3. I swear he made one. He was 7 of 12 from the free throw line. 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. Am I crazy to say that he had like a really good game? Okay, good. I was like kind of worried reading those off. I was like, wait, did I just go crazy? Cash. Julius was cash too. A1 in the regular season is very. Thank you, Tyler. Julius A1. See, there was a moment where I was thinking that I don't know if it's A1 because I don't know like those games that I was just listing off. I don't know that that's it. But this was like, you know, for a 10-game span, this was an A1. I think this was a pretty good game. I think it's probably cash. Again, everybody in cash didn't shoot over 50%. but it felt better. Again, I'm with Charlie Barley saying, you know, if this is this. But HSD says Charlie Barley. Cash just for the second half alone. And he locked up Wemby. My God, I couldn't believe it. We were talking in the Discord. We're like, okay, if Rudy's going to be suspended for the next game, why not just throw Rudy out there for the rest of the game? Who cares about minutes and managing or whatever? I mean, I understand that there's more of a science to that. You don't just play a player 48 minutes because they're going to have the next game off. But it was kind of like, what are we doing? Like, why are we resting him? Just put him out there. But it was also kind of like Randall's absolutely dominating defensively on Wemby, who was very bothered by Julius's pressure. Like, it was pretty incredible. I'm curious to see if Wemby says anything after the game because that was crazy. Julius staring down Wemby and bullying him was unforgettable. That was crazy. That play after the flagrant and several other. It wasn't even just like that play. It was multiple plays. And offensively, he's battling for rebounds. I know he only had 8, but like he was in there sometimes, and he was getting some big rebounds at times. I don't know. This was a really, really good one. He did snatch his chain for sure. Stole his 20-point win. Huge fourth quarter. Yeah, I mean, but what was his stats by the quarter? First half, he only had 4 points. Second half, 11, 7 in the fourth. It's just, I mean, there's no way to really, like, his numbers just don't make it. If you just see the stats, you're going to be like, why the hell are you guys putting him in? Why are you even considering him from HSD? But it really, I mean, it truly was like an incredible defensive effort. Offensively, it was good. And I still feel like, again, this is an eye test thing and not so much a stats thing, but it's like, he just feels back. He just feels like he's back to the regular Randall. Even had multiple times where they were kind of swarming him when he was ball handling, and it was like he was not turning the ball over a ton. I think he only had 2. Was that what I said? Yeah, 2 turnovers. That's not crazy. So, Julius Randle, HSD regular season game, but came through in the clutch. He did. What he did to Wemby was legendary. Guys, it seriously, that defense again. And if we're going by the rules that I have set for this imaginary game that we play every night, what are we expecting from Julius Randle defensively? What if I told you Julius Randle is going to be guarding Wemby in almost all of the fourth quarter, and Rudy Gobert is unavailable for most of the fourth quarter? I mean, Rudy, how much did Rudy end up playing in the fourth? He only played 4 minutes. What if I told you that before the game? You would be like, all right, lost by 20, see you on Tuesday. But no. I mean, he dominated him defensively. It was unreal. Defensive player of the year, Julius Randle. It's cash, guys. I don't know. I'm leaning HSD right now. Randall was blah early, but huge late. I know, but that's like that's the thing with everybody right now. It's like so many people were like meh-ish in the first quarter, which again, I still feel like we showed signs of life in the first quarter. It just wasn't like full blown like super scrappy basketball. But HSD at least. Will we see? I don't know. If we don't see Behringer in the next game, then he's nowhere near. I feel like I don't know if we can though, because we get kind of. I mean, Giannis is in the next game. Giannis is way stronger and way heavier. That's gonna be tough, guys. I think I'm gonna go HSD. This is maybe controversial after what I just said, but I just think that his defensive effort against Wemby, who was dominating us. I mean, not necessarily offensively, but like when Wemby was in the game, we were not doing well until the fourth quarter and some of the third. But yeah, like what was Wemby's? I mean, again, this is like pointless to kind of look at, but Wemby was a plus 17 tonight, even with all of that. He only played 6 minutes in the third, 7 minutes in the fourth, but he was a -7 in the fourth, and he was 0 of 4. So crazy. Oh, that's so crazy. I missed the game, didn't check the score, found the stream from the ratings. I predict we won. Let me tell you, Julius Randle has just catapulted into the defensive player of the year. No, I'm overreacting to that. But it seriously was, I mean, like, if defensive player of the year was based off of the fourth quarter tonight only, he's a finalist. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, he's a finalist if it's tonight. But yeah. By the way, this is like a side note. I totally agree with you, Love Padina. I would much rather see Rocco. Rocco's big, heavy, and I don't know. He looks good to me. I think he could actually perform at an NBA level right now. So, what Julius did to Wemby is something Jaden will never do to Luka. It's not often we send somebody like Wemby to the shot. I mean, it's just crazy. We don't have Mike Inori, but shout out Mike Inori, trying some different things. Like I said, he was playing a couple games tonight. I felt, again, maybe I'm just paying attention because Finch is out, and I was like, oh, what's Nori going to do differently? And like he had that time, I think it was at the end of the second quarter where Rudy was standing at the check-in like to check into the game for like 5 game minutes. And it really felt like he was trying to maybe like have the Spurs rush to get some plays in before Rudy came in. I don't know. I understand that this happens all the time. It's not like this was just like a one-off thing, but like it felt intentional. And then he's like mixing up players and throwing in matchups last minute. And like there was one time where it was like it was right after, I think it was right after a timeout or some stoppage of some sort. And then they had everybody set, and then we swapped in Rudy for Randall, I think. And it was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting, but that might have been the play that he fouled Wemby before the ball got in. But either way, there was just some interesting things happening. So, yeah, wow. Fun game for the fourth quarter. And again, I really didn't hate everything. So that was pretty cool. But again, our tier list, as I've mentioned before, is brought to you by Fourth Generation Flooring. If you haven't already, check them out. If you need anything flooring-wise, reach out to them on Instagram, reach out to that email, or reach out to me and I can get you in contact with them. They're a local Wolves After Dark fan, so we want to support our own. If you have anything that you need, please do reach out to them. We both would appreciate it. So, cool. Next game. Get myself back up here. Next game, as remember, we are over 50 likes, so we're at least doing a t-shirt giveaway, and if we can get 15 more likes in the next 3 minutes, we'll do a hoodie giveaway in the Discord. But the upcoming schedule. Also, I meant to look. Who won the football game? Oh, it's not over. The Patriots look like they're going to win. Okay. That's interesting. Patriots After Dark? No, I'm just kidding. Schedule. I'm getting distracted here. Where's the schedule? It's so hidden now. All right, Tuesday, we play at Milwaukee without Rudy. Then we have 2 days off, and then we have a Friday, Saturday back-to-back. Friday night, it's a late game, 8:30 Central against the Rockets. KD revenge game against us, against him, for not choosing us. And then again, we play the Spurs at the Spurs on Saturday, so that'll be a tough one too. And that sucks. The Spurs, we have to play Spurs 2 times in a row on back-to-backs. That's really dumb. And then next week, it looks like it's Jazz, Bulls, and then the Warriors 2 times in a row. So interesting schedule coming up. But we're looking pretty good. We're not doing so bad. 2 giveaways back-to-back. Whoa. Could have some giveaways. We are going to have some giveaways this week. Again, brought to you by 4th Generation Flooring. They're going to have some tickets for us to give away for some of these games coming up. So we're going to have those. So make sure you're here. We're going to be giving them away. And I forgot to say, for the giveaway, since we're going to do a giveaway, make sure you join the Discord. That's where the giveaways are going to happen. Whether it's we get 13 likes in the next 60 seconds or not, that's where it's going to happen. I should be live Tuesday. I think I should be available for most of these games. It's possible that I might not be available for either the Friday. I should be available for the Friday one, and I want to be available for the Saturday one. But these Saturday and Sunday games are kind of killing me. But I should be available. I think I should be available. We'll see. So yeah, cool. Well, I appreciate you all. Thank you for always showing up for these games. I know, similar to Target Center tonight, you know, the Discord was a little quiet in the very beginning, which is fine. Again, that's not a big deal. But then I got very busy in the second half. So similar to Target Center, empty 10 minutes before, then full right when the game started. So I really do appreciate you guys showing up, keeping me some company here. You know, I don't claim to be any smart guy here. I'm just a fan that has a camera and decided to go live and has continued to do so for 6 years now or something like that. I don't know. It's crazy. Anyways, join the Discord, even if you're not for the Discord, not even for just the giveaways. We have some good conversations in there. Big Boy runs the over-under. You know, a lot of stuff that we talk about in there. So pretty fun. Awesome. It's great. And on the way out, a super chat for the laptop fund. I appreciate that. I think we might actually be able to get a laptop here by the end of the year. That might just be possible. Get Ashwin set up and get Ashwin back. He's kind of busy right now again, which is fine. He's promoting his game, which I don't know. We should talk about it sometime. In some moment, we're going to have to talk about this right here. But I don't know how to. Could be a sponsorship, something like that. In-house sponsorship. Also, check out the merch. Remember, Nas Reed, code Nas Reed for 11% off merch. Make sure you check it out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. T-shirt giveaway happening soon. Join the Discord. I think that's it. Thank you, Ryan. Seriously, appreciate it. I'll leave the Discord link up here, so if you want to scan that with your phone, you can do that. Shout out 4th Generation Flooring. All right. It was great to see you all. Hey, Minnesota Computer Businesses sponsor the show. Yeah, for real. If you're a computer business, we need a sponsor. Apple, where are you at? No, I don't know. I feel like Ashwin might be anti-Apple. I don't know. Ashwin, you that's what you guys have to guess in the comments if you're watching the VOD. Is Ashwin a Mac guy or a PC guy? We may never know. Anyways. Thanks for hanging out. 52 wins, still possible. By the way, 52 wins is like pretty likely at this point. So 52 wins, still possible. Intro as the outro. Shout out 4th Gen Flooring. We will see you Tuesday night.
I believe that the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to win the world championship.